But there's just no way to get around it. I've done this now many times, but I'm getting better at it because your faith begins to build when you practice this. And so if you guys listen to what I'm saying, it doesn't take some kind of special guru. Forget all that. There ain't nobody on the face of this earth. I would never call anybody your guru or your overseer or reverend or father or even a sage, or, you know, I know we make use of those terms because people do that, but anyway, so there's a lot to this, but let me just tell you this part. This is what I've been doing since, like I said, 7 or 8 months. Every time I picture this property, I pictured it the way I wanted it to be. And I pictured the cliffs and the bluffs and the trees just the way I wanted it, just the way it actually is. And I'd never been here before. I had no way to know what it would look like here, because if you look on it from Google Maps and you look down, all you're seeing is a flat surface. You can't tell how big the trees are. You can't even tell how many trees, because it doesn't give you the right perspective. I didn't know if there was a cliff or a bluff there at all. And here I get, after picturing it that way, right down to the Ponderosa where I was going to build the cabin, right to the right of this cliff where there might be a kind of a crack, which I pictured in my mind just about the way it is there. And it works. Whenever you doubt, what that means is that it's the way you see something in your subconscious or in your mind's eye. The way you see it is the way it will manifest. And we're not really aware that that's going to work that way. So if we sit around feeling sorry for ourselves, or thinking that we're sick, or thinking if we picture somebody a certain way, they might actually be that way to us when we get around them, because that's the way we're the energy we're giving them. And I think it probably works in relationships as well. But in the world, in bringing things to manifestation, you must picture and believe that things are going to be the way you know you deserve as a child of the Lord, and receive it with thanksgiving, with joy. Now, if you're saying, Lord, I ain't worthy of this, I'm sorry, I'm a sinner, and, look, you can't keep saying you're a sinner, because the Lord's already forgiven you. And so you're calling him a liar if you do. If you don't believe you're worthy, then that's like a child. It's not even normal. A little kid a little child just receives the attention of their parents with joy and thanksgiving, with laughter and with acceptance. They don't, unless of course they've been abused or something. But our Heavenly Father doesn't abuse us. He gives us every beautiful thing we can dream for, and He's promised us that whatever we ask, we shall receive. But we have to receive it with thanksgiving, and we have to ask in faith and believe that we already have what we've asked for beforehand, and we shall. And I really do believe that's what it means to not doubt. The translation is, with faith, nothing doubting. But the word to doubt means literally to reason. The best way I don't know the exact English translation, but I say, do not reason it out. And if you want to even break it down further, it means don't use your conscious mind and look at the physical reality and assume that in your mind you're like, well, this can't happen. I'm looking at this. It's not, I'm praying for this or that, and it's not what it is. I'm looking at it with my own two eyes. I'm reasoning that, hey, why would somebody give me this, or why would I be able to purchase this, or why would it be so easy? That's not going to happen. That would be, the odds of that happen, there's 1 in 1,000. I'll never get that. Well, so now you're reasoning it out, and you're going against the principle of the reality of the universe, that everything that exists in this reality is a congealing of what we believe in our heart, whatsoever we think and then believe. So you can think of something, but it doesn't manifest until you have emotion and joy, and the things that we think are congealed with other thoughts that are put into a program. It's like a computer program. You have information, but by themselves they do nothing. They need to be in a coded arrangement where each opens at the command of another thing, and they're in a certain program, and you open the program and then you have the command files. But if you don't have that, then you don't get it. So in the world, you can just dream a dream at night and it doesn't always manifest unless it's a real deep-seated knowing. It's the way you see it and always perceive it to be that way, and it will be that way. So the will is the most powerful thing we have. It's far more powerful than hope, of course. It's far more powerful than faith. It's the knowing. And the knowing and the will are kind of two different things, but they're both very, very powerful. And if you have a will for something to be, you say, you speak it, you intend for it, and you go forward toward it, you imagine it's going to be that way, and you don't reason it out and say, well, no, it couldn't be that way. You just forget the reasoning, the human conscious mind. Crucify the five senses, those five kings on the five crosses that, like Joshua did to enter the promised land. And that's how you do it. Just picture what you want, keep it in your mind's eye. And when you start off, it's hard to keep it, because every time you look at something, you might see what others have portrayed, or what, the demons come and they influence you, the doubts, the fears, the anxiousness, and all this. So we have to overcome those doubts and fears by constantly remaining in our integrity and in our faith, and pursuing it and knowing it, practicing it, and it will manifest. This is exactly how this came to be. I've told you many different things that has led up to this property. When I was looking for this property, I didn't think there would be anywhere in the world that I could buy something anywhere close to this. The best I could have done for $100 a month is some acre of ground out in the middle of the Mojave Desert with no water, no trees, not even a blade of grass. Or it may be a blade of grass if I was lucky. Maybe in Nevada somewhere, or in far west Texas, by El Paso, out in the desert or something. The lady had agreed to let me have this property for nothing down, and then just pay the first month's payment, which is $100. It works. Just have faith and know in your heart, and don't let anybody steal it from you.